First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rukah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim, and you, Akwat, that believe in all sincerity. I came across this comment by Mark Dice. He posted it on YouTube. And this is the spirit that many Americans are in, okay? I've heard and seen online Americans basically speak about what's been going on with Iran and Israel and how that it's nothing, and that everyone's paranoid and America's going to ultimately prevail. Okay, but the scriptures say otherwise. So let's read this comment, get a couple scriptures. Lord willing, this will be edifying. It says, Iran and Israel just agreed to a ceasefire. Shortest World War III in history. Hey, panicins. Those who panic. I have to spell things out for some people. LOL. Hopefully it holds up. Nobody knows, but as Mark Twain once said, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Too many people making definitive statements out of paranoid and fear as if they know what is going to happen and claim Trump sold out MAGA when he had said for 10 years he wouldn't allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. And no, morons, I'm not happy the U.S. did Israel's dirty work. Again, I've been very clear on that for years. I've seen too many boys who cry wolf in my career and too many chicken littles. So I always try to put out a measured, thoughtful analysis, not firing off a tweet before even really thinking about the possible outcomes or meanings of things. So this is the spirit, okay, that Americans are in, and he's calling them panicins, all right, those who panic. And he says nobody knows, but, the scriptures speak about the future of America. It says too many people making definitive statements out of paranoid or paranoia and fear as if they know what is going to happen. See, and a lot of individuals think that America is just going to prevail and that America is going to be made great again. Okay, and this guy says a lot of proud things, and I've seen and heard a lot of people claim that Iran don't got it, okay, that they cannot take America down. But they don't know that Iran has allies, okay? This star here, it says, lament for Babylon. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And dust signifies confusion. Sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Okay, this is speaking of figuratively America. Okay, even your everyday Edomite knows that America is Babylon the Great. Okay, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans were the wise men of Babylon. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, so ultimately America's going to be uncovered, and it's being revealed. Okay, how treacherous America truly is, okay, the way they deal, right? And it speaks more about it in this chapter, okay? We'll jump down to the 7th verse. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And seeing this, the spirit of these Edomites. Okay, they don't lay these things to heart. They don't think of the latter end. They think they're going to sit a lady forever. They're spoken about as the daughter of the Chaldeans. You see, figuratively, a future empire like Babylon, but it's talking of America, the daughter of the Chaldeans, okay? Because the wise men were called Chaldeans in Babylon. So You know, they're not gonna be no more tender and delicate. They're not gonna be, as it says here, 5th verse, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. You see? Yeah, America's known as a lady, never been touched. American soils have never been ravaged, okay? America has not seen war. Okay, 7th verse again, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And America is given into pleasures. Okay, people dwell carelessly here. You know, look at this guy calling people panicking, that they're panicking, that they're making statements out of paranoia and fear. Okay, this is the spirit of the average American, man. Okay, they dwell carelessly, that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in the perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Okay, so there's going to be death. Okay, old and young, men, women, and children. Okay, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. Okay, America is replete with secret societies, witches and warlocks, the Illuminati. Okay, look at Hollywood. Look at how these celebrities sacrifice family members. Okay, Pizzagate. Epstein. You name it. It's coming out of as of late. All these rituals at football, Super Bowls or these award shows. They're just riddled with satanic influence. You see, and you can't hide it anymore. You can't hide it anymore. You have to open your eyes to what is going on around you. I mean, they're sign happy too. As I've mentioned before, their logos and their companies and their products are filled with, idols and Satan worship and occult symbolism. Okay. So this is why Yahweh Bashim El Shai is going to visit, America, which is Babylon the Great, also known as the daughter of the Chaldeans. Okay, the virgin daughter of Babylon, because as it says here in the first verse at the top, it's never been touched. America has never been infiltrated. Okay, or American soil has never been invaded. Okay, so these things are going to happen in a moment, in one day. 10th verse, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And they trust in their wickedness. They think that the Most High doesn't see them. Okay, the wisdom and the knowledge, because the scriptures say that how often is the candle of the wicked put out? Okay, you go into that word candle, it's talking about instruction. They've been given the power on the left-hand side. They've been instructed, okay, to basically do what they do. This is the this is the vile kingdom. Look at what goes on here in America. You can do as thou wilt. You're free to just freak off. Look at all the Moism. All the people in the closet, they came out. It's completely wicked. The scriptures speak about, that they crucified our Lord here, and everyone worships a white Jesus. This place is totally backwards. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, you see, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. Right, 9/11. Everybody thought that 9/11 was a terrorist attack, when really, it was a well thought out conspiracy performed by the American government. Same thing with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. It came out that the driver, shot him, while he was driving with his left hand over his right shoulder. Okay. They got the tape. It has been released, but it's more than 20 years. Who cares? Who cares now? See, these are all the enchantments. These are all the sorceries. These are all the things that they've done. It says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. And they're not. They're not, because you're not going to do, evil and it's not going to be recompensed. Okay. Scripture say those that sow wickedness reap the same. That are weary in the multitude of thy counsels, right? And they're getting tired. America's getting tired, man. When the C-19, the C-19, the scamdemic, okay, that came out to be, orchestrated, and they make movies that they show you. Look, watch what's this movie with Matt Damon? I forget. Contagion. Right, Contagion. Yep, watch Contagion. Contagion shows you exactly, what they say about the C-19, the scamdemic. That it came from a bat. Watch Contagion. They show you. Okay, supposedly it came from pigs or whatnot. Watch that movie. It shows you how they fabricated a story and blamed it on animals. But behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. NLT, but they are like a straw burning in a fire. They cannot save themselves from the flame. You will get no help from them at all. Their hearth is no place to sit for warmth. You see, the fervent heat is coming to America. Okay, and let's not forget. 6th verse here, I was wroth with my people. Back in Isaiah 47, I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very, very heavily laid thy yoke. So that yoke is slavery. Okay, let us not forget the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who fit the prophecy of being the children of Israel were taken captive here. The Lord was wroth with us because we disobeyed his law. So he gave us into the hand of our oppressors, and they showed us no mercy. From the old even to the young, they all were put in slavery. That's another reason why America has to be destroyed. NLT, for I was angry with my chosen people and punished them by letting them fall into your hands. But you, Babylon, showed them no mercy. You oppressed even the elderly, right? Okay, there has to be a recompense for these things. Okay, Psalms 137:8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. These countries are just waiting to take a bite out of your ass, man. That's the truth. But just because it hasn't 100% kicked off, it doesn't mean it won't. Okay, people, they trust too much in Babylon. They trust too much in slavery and oppression. Okay, but as the scriptures say, these things have to be accounted for. get two more. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Okay, just Russia. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their armor, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied with Yahweh. You see? Saith the Lord. Yeah. Happy is he that rewardeth America like America did everyone else. America's proud. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage. Right, they destroyed the Israelites. Because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Yeah. At 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Okay. And those arrows are talking about missiles. This is what Jeremiah used to explain, what these nations were going to do, okay? They're going to shoot at Babylon. They're not going to spare no arrows, man, which are missiles, where she has sinned against Yahweh. So it's just a matter of time before this land gets hit, man, okay, with nuclear warfare, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles. So much for, being panicking and for America not being able to be touched and whatnot. America is Babylon the Great in the scriptures, okay, for all you who don't know. And you can look these up on YouTube. Who is Babylon? You can Google it. You can chat GPT it. People need to, do their research when they see these videos that we do. Because they'll tell you themselves that Babylon the Great is America, the daughter of the Chaldeans. Okay, so yeah, these devils are proud. You see, and that's the only way to wipe the smirk off these people's faces. That's the only way to get rid of the wicked. They have to die, because talking to them is of no use, man. Okay, so just wanted to bring this out. Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim, and you, Aqua, that live in all sincerity. Shalom.